going to go through is the question that is similar to the one that I gave you on Friday, except that the one that you did on Friday did not have a cut. And the one that I've already shown you before, which is this octagon, has been cut, but not similar to the way this one is cut. Can you see the difference? This one was cut from the edge. This one was cut all the way to somewhere here. This one that I'm giving you is cut somewhere here. So it came this way, then it was cut down. The first thing is to understand in which orthographic projection are you drawing this question. This is coming from the textbook on page 135 in General Drafting Textbook. They asked for a right view. And they asked for a right view. They are asking you to draw in third angle projection. Clear? I think you can see the way I've done. In third angle projection, your front with the auxiliary top view must be at the bottom left. Top view is going to be here. And then here we are going to project the right. So now you need to identify which right. We need to look at the right hand side of all of this. In fact, there is another shape that I just forgot quickly. There is a hexagon here. Yeah. Let's try to just. Yeah. There's another solid that is sitting this way. This hexagon is a prism. If you read the question, they're saying it has got a length of 33 millimeters, meaning that it's going that side, can you see, by 33 long. It's a prism. And it's centrally sitting in front of the cylinder. It's sitting in the front, in the middle of the cylinder. So the first thing that you must always do in the test, in the exam, and when you practice, is to understand the view. Third angle projection or first angle projection. Fine. The next thing, after you said that, is to copy, right? You are going to copy. You saw the way I did. To copy this front view, I started with this auxiliary view. The blue is the prism, and I've drawn it in blue to match that. There's another solid. In the question, they say that this is a cylinder. They have given this in the question. We're given the diameter, I think of 50 or something. As long as you see that sign, it's not a square prism. If I didn't put that diameter sign, it could mean anything. You agree? It could mean a square prism or a triangular prism sitting that way. But this diameter sign tells you that this is a different solid. And because it's a different solid, it's facing that way. Its main center line is this one, right? This solid, which is a prism, its main center line is this one. You see the way it's facing. That's its main center line. That is this one. With this one, anyway, it's sitting flat. So the main center line is flat. They will never give you, you will never be given the auxiliary view of a cylinder. You have to draw. You know it's a cylinder, it's a circle. And looking at where it's tilting to, there will be a circle here, which is the auxiliary shape of this looking from that side. But examiner won't give you that. So as long as you identify it's a circle, you need to draw a circle here. Even a half circle is fine, okay? You project your edges, and then we draw the circle, which is this diameter. This one. Fine, let's say it's this circle and this is this. I've said that whenever there's a cylinder or it's a hole, you have to divide it in 12 divisions. Because the circle has no corners. Yes, it's the auxiliary view of this one. You need to divide it in 12 divisions. 12. How do we divide the circle in 12 divisions? We use the radius of the circle. When you put your compass here, you mark here and you mark that one. When you move here, you mark here and you mark this one. When you move here, you mark this one. You go through 1, 2, 3, 4 points. You mark, you mark, you mark. This has been dealt with. Coming to numbering, Before you number, we agree that this is the main, right? Main center line for the cylinder is this one. You have to stand in this position, facing where it is tilting to. Why am I standing in this position? I want to know if the question says right view. It's right view of the solids, 1, 2, 3 solids. These are the arrows. Not right view of the auxiliary shape. Not right view of this auxiliary shape. No. It's the right view of your front view, looking from the right-hand side of the front. Whether it's got 10 solids welded together, we are looking at the solids at the same time. Okay? These are the arrows. The next thing you need to identify is right-hand side when I look at this shape, which is when you look at the auxiliary view, and when you look at this auxiliary view. Are you with me? So if I want the right-hand side, why am I saying right-hand side? The question is asking for a right-hand side. So I must look for right-hand side here and right-hand side here. But how are you going to identify which is right? You stand facing the main center line. You see the main center line of the cylinder is that one. So what we're trying to say is, if this is the main center line, which one is right hand side of this main center? The way I'm standing. Up or down? Up. Clear. So the right hand side of the auxiliary view is here. Right. Clear. I'm not interested in the left. Why am I saying this is important? There are times where we draw the half outline and the half hidden. So for you to come and know which half between the two halves of a circle is outlined, it's always going to be this right half, because those are the numbers that are on your right hand side. That's the reason I'm doing this. So you will see when I start to project. That is important. Clear? We come to this auxiliary view. I'm not going to stand the way I'm standing. I have to change because it's tilting this way. Left side, can you see? Of this yellow thing. Right hand side. Clear? Clear. Because this is the main center line of this. So I'm going to put the arrows there. Right hand side of the auxiliary view, let's use red. These arrows, the red ones, it's right. These green ones, it's also right, but off the front view. Fine. Once you identify those three things, the next thing is to identify your Y line. Where? Y line here and Y line there. Because these two are two different auxiliary shapes. So I need to know where is the Y line here for this solid, for this auxiliary view. For sure, it's not the main center line. Already you know it's the one going perpendicular. Not the main center line. So our Y line will be this one in blue. This one. For your prism, I need the Y line for the cylinder. Obviously, it's not the main again. It's this one. Yes. I already said that the Y line should be a line parallel to the width. Can you see this is the width or the diameter? Not the length. When I look at this one, this is its height. Are you with me? The width is this one. And that is my Y line. We have identified important things that will help you win on any question, whether first, third angle projection. This is what you do first. So on the question paper, you must do this. Put the numbers, put the arrows. If the question was asking for left view, these arrows will be opposite right. Can you see? I'll put them there. And this I will be viewing this side. And these arrows will be, you see? Just opposite of what I've done. Next, you number your auxiliary views. Here we have two shapes. I'm not concerned about this one. It's very simple because it's sitting flat. You deal with this at the end. And why at the end? It's the smallest of the three solids. So in my explanation, I deal with the bigger part first. I project and I finish. After the bigger part is finished, I go to the second biggest. You will never ever find me projecting lines from each and every corner everywhere. It's a confusion and you will never be found. I cannot start projecting this corner and this corner. I'm talking about two different solids, and that's a confusion. And I can't help you. When I come to a drawing board and there's lines everywhere, I'll ask you, which solid are you focusing on now? And I need to see lines from that solid until you finish to get its shape here. Then we'll go and deal with the blue one. And that's why I give them different colors, because I'll attend to each and every one separately, but they will create the whole thing again in the end. Okay, let's number this. And the easiest way to number, you need to start on the Y line. Can you see? You can use numbers, you can use alphabetical letters, it's fine. So if I start at this point here, I'll call point A and point B, point C, point D, point E. I'll go halfway here again, B and B. C and C. Why am I going to do that? This thing is symmetrical. We know what it means by symmetry. If I ask you to fold it, B and B will meet. Yes, C and C will meet. So we can, if it's symmetrical. But there will be shapes that you will get where this point is not lining with this point. So you can't say BB, it's wrong. We only do that for symmetrical shapes. Like a cylinder, I will number half-half as well. Why? Because if I close it, it's symmetric. So this will be my B, this will be C, this is D. But there's an important corner that has been introduced in this shape, which you don't overlook. You must consider that. Because it's not falling on any of the corners, can you see? But it's making a corner. It's making an edge. And in drawing, any cutting edge is a solid line. So you must put into consideration how you will say, okay, this thing has been cut there, but I don't see any on this. You have to take the cut up to your auxiliary view and see exactly at what point this shape was cut, because they don't give you here. So I'll go with a line parallel to these lines, and I'll go that way. And exactly here, I'll call this one X. Can you see? Then it cuts here and it cuts where? There, X. Where it cuts the prism is exactly where it was chopped. Looking at the auxiliary view. So we've got all the points. When we come to the cylinder, it's different. It has nothing to do with A, B, C, D here. Nothing. It has got its own shape. So you number it separately. You can even use numbers now. Yes, I've got the divisions. Can you see them? I'll start on the Y line again. And I'll call this one 0.0. I'll use numbers. Then the next one is 0.1. Then it's what? 2. Then it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Halfway. Because it's also symmetrical. So I've got 1 here. And 1 there. 2 and 2. Then it's 3 and 3. 4, 5, 5. Then 6. Half, half. Done. And I said there are 3 solids, and I'll start with the biggest one, which is cylinder. I'll leave those numbers there. We focus on the cylinder because it's the largest one. How do we project looking from this side, right-hand side? When you start to project, unless you're not drawing, you already think of this one. If you're not drawing, you will think of this piece and think of that piece, and already you start looking at, oh, there's parts that I won't see of this cylinder. Already because this is in front of the cylinder. Any pieces that will be behind this solid will be in hidden details when I do it. But for those that are learning drawing, when you start to project from the cylinder, assume you don't have these two in existence. you understand? And then make sure you draw very light. Why? Because yes, we'll change line types, others will be hidden. You assume you don't have this and you don't have that, you only have a cylinder in that case. Project and get the cylinder there under construction lines, not dark, because there will be things I'll come and eliminate. Clear? Okay, so I'm assuming I don't have that. I'll come to the divisions. I need to draw lines parallel to the main center line, which is at 30 degrees. There is our main center line. So your lines will pass through 0. Already you can see this projection line takes you here and takes you where? You are talking about the bottom and the top of the cylinder. And this is 0. And that is what? 0. You go to 1 and 1. Again, 30 degrees line. You come down all the way to get point 1 and point 1. We see 2 with 2. You go through point 2 at the bottom, point 2 on top. 3 and 3. Let's say it's here. 4 and 4. 5. Let's say 5 is here and 5 here. Please, all these lines are parallel. Eh? This is a freehand sketch. 30 degrees lines, because that is the. Then 6 is here and 6 is there on the ground. That's where it's resting, on the ground. Now, I'll ask myself, I've been asked to look from the right-hand side of the cylinder. Which one between the bottom edge and the top edge is near my eyes? Already the arrows are there. That's where you are standing. Which one? Which numbers? Here or here? The bottom edge. You are standing here. Assuming we don't have these two, they are not there. You will see the bottom edge. Guys, from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when you stand here, you see what? A circle. But it's not going to be a normal circle as you may think, because this thing is tilted. It's going to be like elliptical. It's going to be an oval shape. And that's why when I was teaching, I said you can as well use an ellipse. Or you use this method of what? Construction or projection. You're not going to see a normal circle like with the compass. No, it's tilted. It makes everything oval. So, 0.0 to 0.6. If it's those people that would prefer to do the ellipse, you project and then the bottom. Find the Y-line position anywhere where it's nice for you to do the marking. Remember, my Y-line is halfway. This Y-line, they represent this same one here. We won't have two Y-lines here. One. So I'll choose this position here. And I'll say Y, Y. For those that would prefer to use ellipse, I said this will act as point C. I'm not going to do the ellipse. This will act as point D. You remember when I was teaching ellipse? Then we need our center, point 3. Center line will be major. It was minor, major. If you go with point 3, which is the center, you need to know how far, right? Which will be your width. Here we look at it from here. You take this distance, W. If you take this distance from 3 to 3, you go and mark that distance here. And this was A and B. And then construct your ellipse. If you know how to do the ellipse. Then there's no need of all these projection lines. You only need A, B, and C and D. So I'm going to still construct, right, using projection because we have started. To construct using projection, this point is not C, but it's what? 0. How do I say this is 0? Look here. It's on the Y line, which is that Y line. So this 0 here is this 0 on the y line. You must also mark it on the y line. So I'll say 0, no A, B, C, D here, unless you're doing the ellipse. Next is point 1. Remember, I'm at the bottom because that's the view that's close to my eyes. So I need to finish with all these numbers. Do not come even to your desk if you are referring to this and that. It's totally two different surfaces you are talking to. You can't. Until all of them on this line are dealt with, you connect them. If it's whatever shape, you connect before you even go here. Okay, so there's point 1. You need to take it that side. Line 1. Is line 1 on the y line? We are relating to this auxiliary view, not that one. Right? You say, okay, there is your one and there is another one. You will take your compass. Take that distance away from the y line, which is the same here. So we know that we are marking 1, 1. Can you see? With the compass. Put your compass in the y line, you mark 1, and you mark 1. I'm not putting numbers, you know. 1, 1. Why? Number 1. There is your 2. You take your line there for 2. I need to mark how far away 2 is from the y line. This is the distance you take, which is the same way. Even you prefer working, with a half circle. But remember, when you mark is 2 times. If there's no space. Same here, we can work with half hexagon, so it's symmetrical. So that distance for 2, you go with it and then place here and mark 2 and mark 2. So let's say 2 and then 2. Why am I marking on that line? This is the line for 2. There is point 3 at the bottom, and I take the compass from center, which is y line to 3. That's the widest part. That's A and B. If you did ellipse. Take that distance, and you can come, let's just make it over somewhere here. Okay, 3, and then somewhere there, 3. The bottom part is number 4. You can see this 4 here. The distance is from here to here. For sure, that distance is the same distance with 2, eh? This distance to 4 is the same distance to 2. Or the otherwise, come back and take here. If you know, you just go with the 4 and then align with 2. So let's say it's on this line. Align with 2, get 4. Align with 2, you get your 4 here. Then you go to number 5. You project. Red lines are very light. 5 will be below 1. From here to here is the same as from here to here. Below 1. There was 1. I'll mark 5 here. And there was 1. I'll go down and mark 5 here. Somewhere here. The last one is 6. We can already see 6 is on the line. And the circle is formed. 6 will be somewhere here. And I said you leave it in construction because we'll come and make changes. So a freehand sketch, you go through your dots. Yeah, let's make it. I am going to do the same here. It's a circle still here. 1 through 2, 6. You project. There is 0. Next is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one is 6. Horizontal lines. If you want to go mark or align with the first circle, so there's no need to even come here. If this is 0, I'll just say 0 will be above this 0 here. Can you see? The next one is 1. will be above 1. This was 1. You can go and align 1, 1. 2, there was 2 here. You go up, mark 2. There was another 2 there. You go up, you mark 2. 3, there's 3. Up, 3. That side, 3. Then it's 4, which will be in line with this one. 4, and another one there, 4. Then it's 1 with 5, another 5 here, then 6. You can see. Construction, and I know for sure, because of this solid, I don't know if we will see this piece. You are standing that side. This is big. And if you stand here, the first thing we see is this one before even anything at the back. But we just construct, and I'm in construction line. Yeah. You need to be good with your freehand sketching. You're learning that in picture. Being that it's a cylinder, we only collect the outer edges, okay? Yeah, 3 to 3. I know that this piece must be hidden detail in real life. If we did not have, let me show you something. This is supposed to be hidden. If we did not have this and this, why is that hidden? I'm going back to, you see the view. This top half, I'll put it in green. This top half, if you follow the numbers here, can you see them? Solid. Because it's from where you're standing. These numbers down here, if we follow them, we follow all this up to here, sorry, up to here. Can you see? Hidden. Why? Right half outline, left half hidden. It depends with where you're going from. So I'll leave it that way, but I'll come and fix it once this is drawn. You will do it very light, very light. This is done. We can go to the prism. Looking at the right-hand side of the prism, you need to identify first the numbering before you start to project. We've got A, right? This corner.
Yes.
You can see the projection line that this is A, and there is A here. Are you with me? A on top, A at the bottom. B is here, and B at the bottom. Then we have a new cut, which is X. X is here, fine, we can't have X at the bottom. This thing was just cut on the surface. You leave it. C is here. My concept is to work exactly on the cut. Whatever has been thrown away, I knew that this thing was like this. Can you see? I don't talk about that. I don't even draw this piece that is gone. So when I'm looking for C, I'll come with a projection and show where I started cutting C. That is my focus. C and C. D, all the way until where D was chopped here. D, D. E was chopped here. E, and then E at the bottom. Clear? Then look at where you are standing here, right hand side. So we'll see A, B, X, C, D, E. Are you with me? More than A, B, C, D, E. It's either you see the top edge or the bottom edge fully, the other edge is half-half. So because I'm starting on the right hand side, the top edge is fully visible, right? This edge. So let's deal with all of these letters falling on this edge before we come to the bottom edge. Because the bottom edge, one half is hidden, one half is outlined. Then which half is hidden, you will go back to my arrows on the auxiliary view. And it works like that. Okay. So let's start. We agree that we see A, B, this pattern, so we project only those letters. If it's A, you start. B, X, C, Let me use this one, it's fine for C. The lines D and E. All the lines are gone that side. Now I need to mark. Marking, I must go to the auxiliary shape and relate my numbers or my letters with where they fall in relation to the Y line. If I start with point A, I look here, and already we can see it's on the Y line. Point A. Next, B, this one. It's away from the Y line by how much? And that is, there is another B, 2. So you mark right, left. You take that distance there, you come put your compass there, you mark your B and mark B. After B, before C, there is a cut. X, I already took it there. I think you can see the line. No, it's not that straight. This cut was coming here, straight. Yeah, let's use that. So for me to know how far is the cut from the Y line, again, yes. You go with your compass. On the cut, you mark X and you mark X. See, this is the distance to C, the widest part. You take that distance, you go with your C, and this is the line for C. I'll mark C, and there I mark C, on the same line. G. G and B are together, same distance if you are to C. From here to B is from the center to D, same distance. So you go with your E, with your D, and align with B. Is it this one? Yeah. There's D. And then align there. All the way on this line, D. This was X and X. The last point we have here on the surface, on the top surface is E, which was on the one. E. Can you see? You have to join all your points before you deal with anything down here. Because all those points are making this shape when you're standing. It's A to B, B to X, X to C. Those are and fully visible, nothing is hidden there. Because that's where we are standing. We are viewing from there. So we start connecting. You use a ruler. You say, okay, there's A. Then into the cut. And then to C. C to D. D to E. E to D, D to C, to your X, to B, something like that. And I said the cut is a solid line. Okay? This is a solid line. Even here, this should be solid. It's a cutting edge, like the way you see the edge of your table. Here, it's going to be what? Solid. We have just created a roof. Where is its base? Its base is A to B to C to D to E. At the bottom, there's no X. It wasn't cut until the bottom. So you still go back and project A. So I'm going to use this line to avoid so many lines. I'll use A on this one. You use your ruler so you will have proper lines. Then I've got B. I'll use this one as my line for B. Then I've got C That's why your red lines must be faint. You see, there is E. Let's say this line. Yeah. Now it's marking. There's no need to stress because if I'm looking for A, I'll just go down the other A there. This is A at the bottom, it's just going to be underneath the other A that you already need. Can you see that? Yeah? So let's go with this line for A. This one. Then I'll mark A here. Can you see? What the other one was? Up. There is the other one. B. You go with the line for B. And then you say, oh, the other B was here. You align. Mark B. Here, you align. Mark B on this line at the bottom. And C. You go with line C. And then look for C. There's your C. So it's lining up C. On the outside there, C. Can you see? D. You go with your line for D, and it will be about below D here. D. And also here, below D. D. Or else you can still go and take your measurement. But for time, you know, you need to just be fast. Then it's E at the bottom. You go with this line for your E, it will be below this E. It will be somewhere here. And then there we know that it's not everything that will be visible, because the top one is everything that was visible. There is no way the bottom will be visible everywhere. Half hidden, half visible. Which half? Back to the main center. The right half is C to D, to E to D to C. Can you see the right half? That part is the half that will be outlined here. The one near these arrows, that's why they are important. So I'm going to only outline this C to D to E to D to C. At the back here, I'm not going to see. It's on the left half. So you go there and start now joining, and I'll start at E. There's E here at the bottom. I said E to D, solid. D to C, solid. So here, E to D, solid. D to C, solid. C to here, hidden detail. Hidden, hidden, hidden. And then now, we have to join them. These are vertical lines there. And again, which vertical lines are going to be outlined? The very points that are near you on the auxiliary, which is C going down to C, solid. D going down to D, solid. E, solid. D, solid. C, solid. The right half, the left half is hidden detail. That's the importance of where you are. That's what I said. So we start E to E. For sure, when you stand here, you see this line, no matter what, how E goes down to E. There, we are going to use blue, solid. There is D to D, solid. Which is D to D. Last point is C, né? That's the half. Into C. And C to C. Then we do the hidden details. Hidden is B and B and A. Where is A? A into A. Hidden detail. The whole thing here will be dashed lines to A. B and B, where is B? B into B. Dashed lines. And this B here to B here. There's no X to X. X was on the top. You can see. But you must listen here. In drawing, you learn mechanical drafting next term. We do sectioning. When we come to sectioning, we section so that we can reveal the hidden details. That's why they cut and draw one half and stuff. So in drawing, as long as you have got dashed lines, which are hidden lines, you are not supposed to hatch the cut. Apparently, the whole cut here is supposed to be having cross lines, you know, the hatching lines. But as long as you have hidden details, you can't have hidden details and hatched lines or cross lines. Listen to the question. If the examiner says, show all your hidden details, whether there will be a cut, do not be tempted to do the hatching. Because hidden details do not move together with hatching lines. But if it did not mention whether to show hidden lines or not, you would rather stay away from hidden lines, it's less work. And after that, you would just have to do cross hatch. Without hidden lines, we would have done this. Check. Without hidden lines, I'm saying. Are you with me? But I can't do hatching and showing hidden lines. You are failing. There is no way drawing can accept that. But if they didn't mention show hidden lines, I'll stay away from hidden lines. And I'll just come and cut or do the hatching of the cut. Why this part was not hatched? It's that piece that was not cut. It's this piece that's free from A to X. You started cutting from X, you chopped until E. You will find the marks of the knife. Where we see the marks of the knife, after cutting is the cutting edge. We start hatching. Because the hatching are like the marks that a knife left when you cut. So do not combine hidden lines with the hatching. Either way, you show hidden lines, do not hatch. So coming to the top view, guys, this is not finished search, this part. This part, the question says, it is a prism, and what they mean by a prism is sitting like this. It's got a length, if you read the question. Centrally, underneath the cylinder, so it's sitting halfway. So if the length is 33, you are telling me it's half of 33, half of 33. That's how it is. You will see this length only when you go to the right-hand side. You can't see another hexagon. It's the same way I tell students, when I look at your face, I go on the side, I won't see eyes here. Why? The eyes are seen in front. You can't show hexagon again here and here, no. You must show me the depth of your eye, which is this part. There is the hexagon. Here you see this side, X and X. Then you see the faces, the depth. So you project from this corner, that corner, and the bottom. 3 lines. The height is here. Then this one. Next one, we already have a line. I will use this same line with this one. And the bottom, there is a line. You go here and measure half of 33 and half of 33. Okay? Because it's sitting centrally in the center. Half. You measure 17 point something, but on the height, let's say until here. And also maybe until there. Then outline this bottom. And outline that, and the edge, which is this one. You see the edges I'm outlining. 1, 2, 3. That makes part of the cylinder hidden. You see the green part falling within black. That will be hidden details, because now there's a solid closer to you before the cylinder. So you can change that part. This will be hidden lines, this part, until here. Up until here, then you'll be able to see. Up until here, line work. So that 25 marks, copying a drawing, copying this thing is 5 marks from 25. Projecting this is 10. Projecting this is what? 10 marks. But that 10 marks, we mark you on neatness, line work, correctness, accuracy, all those things. We are marking this drawing. So here I'll mark separate, here I'll mark separate, here I'll mark separate, then I'll add the marks and give you. So if you end here, for instance, already 10 is out, because you didn't do the top view. You have to rush straight to do the top view, and like I've said many times, that if this one is drawn correctly and is finished, you use your 45 line. We won't even come back to take measurements unless you want, but it's time consuming to come and start marking. First things first is to transfer your Y line. You see this Y line here. Go and that's the main line. So Y line on the top view is a horizontal line. Looking now from the top of the three solids, are you with me? We are looking at 1, 2, 3 at the same time. You can start with a bigger piece again. Bigger piece is a cylinder. For sure, I'll see the highest part more than the lowest part when you are standing this side. So you are going to draw the full circle for this piece here, which is the one higher. You always remember when it's tilted, the higher point is near you. So meaning these numbers here. You project, there is 0, there is 1. Vertically up, 4, 5, and 6. You go and relate them to those points then. Point 0, you go here, there was point 0 somewhere here. There is 0 line. And 2 where they meet. Can you see? 0. Next, 1. 1. You go look for your 1 here. I think this was 1 and 1. You go with 2 lines for 1. You have a point 1 here meeting with this one. Next is this one. So I'm not going to finish this. 1, 1, 1. You see? 2, you leave it, you look for 2 here. Yes, I said 2 was somewhere here. You go up 2, where it meets with 2 at the point. There was 2 on the right hand side on the circle. 2. And then here. Then 3 is the middle part. There is 3. You follow. It's all projection working now. 3. Where was 3 here? Then it's on this line 3. The next one here. The next one here. Then here. You can already see that the points are. Okay, you will do this and then freehand. You'll do the same here. So I'm not going to do all your points. Let's say 0. And what? 6, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, just those 2. And I already have 0 here, which will be here, and 6 here. You can align with those, but bring your lines, all your dots up. Bring all your dots up, but you only see the top half in any case, if this was not existing. If this was not existing, you still see the top half. The same half I mentioned here. Can you see? Yeah, the same half that I mentioned here. So in any way, you're going to have 3 somewhere here, and the dotted line, and this was supposed to be outlined had it not been for this. But I'll fix because I need to draw this. And then I'll join this. And dashed lines. For now. Then you come to the next solid. Next solid that I'm still looking from the top. So I'll look at A, B, X, C, what, up. Let me see. You go with A. Look for A on this. You go with this line. There is A. You go until they meet. A. B. Up. Look for B. We had B and B. Can you see? Let's say on this line again. You mark B. The next B was here. B. X. And look for your X. X. The other X is here. There's a lot of lines. Make sure you're just accurate with what you're doing. Let's say X is here on this line. C You go up with this line for C. You look at C, the outer one. 45 this way, C. Right? C on the right, this one. C. Is it here? C. G. You look for D. Already we know that D and B, eh? So I'll just use B here. And then I mark D here. G. And B and D together. B here, D. And the last one is E. E is on the center. And I said only the top half will be visible. Oh, here is everything, sorry, because it's in the top. So it's E to D, D to C, C to X, yeah, X to B, B, X, C, G. Can you see the shape? The top H. Then you do the bottom H from A, B, C, D, E. There is A. Here. There is B. Already I can just mark B here, align with this B here. C. Mark with C and C here. C and C. D. Up. D. And maybe D again somewhere here. D. Then the last point is E. I'm being fast here because you already know what's happening. There is E. Can you see? Here we don't see everything. What are we going to see? A, B to C, the highest part of it. Again, the same. Now it's here. The right hand side. Here it's opposite. You won't gonna see this. You see A to B, B to C, up until here. This is the lowest point. So A to B, B to C. A to B, B to C. Outline. Then here to that B here, hidden line. To E there, D, E, hidden line. E to D, hidden. D to B, or C, hidden. Can you see that part is inside? After that, because you are looking from here, you will see A to A, solid. There A to A, B, B, C, C. That will be seen. How E goes to E, hidden detail. How B goes D and D, hidden detail. At the back, you won't see anything. And that's why the cylinder, you have hidden. Can you see from here to here? You see that piece? It will change. This was solid. Now it's not going to be solid. This piece I'm removing. It's hidden. Why? Because the solid is above it, which is the same here. From here, this line for the cylinder, dashed line. And through here, then you can make it solid. Yes, if this thing is coming out of the cylinder, this is solid for sure. It's solid and through here. Then it changes. Then the rest is hidden lines. The last piece is this one. You can see already that you see this, that, and that in hidden line, this corner. You need to go and see. Okay, it's gonna sit like this. There'll be, I'm just now creating it. Check what I've done, and then there's this 1, 2, 3, ne? This one, the last one. Check. It's taking you here. Check what I'm just doing. This corner, you go up, it must take you here. And you need to have this one. If it's still outside, it's going to be solid, right? If it's still outside, it will still be a solid line. If it's outside. If it falls in the material, it's hidden like this one. Can you see? Yeah, it's underneath. This corner is hidden. This one you must check if it's outside. There will be 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Are you with me? Yes. The first 2, 1, 2 are outside. So that's this face. Then you have this face from here to here. This is a hidden line. There will be 2 hidden lines for this one and for that one. You can see what's going on from the top. But again, it's half of what? 33, because you guys are going to come with this length, ne? Can you see? Yeah. And then you get your 25 marks if you are perfect. Perfect. We are done.